Alrighty, I'm changing my resin vat. So, what you'll need is a paper towel, a respirator, a funnel, which is the most important thing. There's a couple of different ways that you can do that, which is either using a regular funnel with some painter's filter, which you can pick up from Bunnings or any hardware store. Or there's one of these, and they come with a little metal filter in it. What I've done is I've printed a spout for an existing funnel, and I've stuck in some filter mesh. One sec. Alright, it's a bit better. It's got some light now, but apart from that, you'll need some alcohol and a flat surface to put the filter to put the resin vat on. You'll also need a resin bottle, and some gloves. I'm going to just stick these gloves on. And gloves on. Alright, let's just adjust this a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, that should do. So all we do is open up the resin bottle, and you'll see that in here it's separated a lot. This hasn't been changed in about a week, and it's a mix of cream and white, so it gives a fairly skin colored appearance when you print it. So if you're just using a regular funnel, you stick the painter's filter in there. Make sure that you get either 50 micron or 25 micron. You just want to filter out anything that could get stuck between the first layers and the film, the FEP film. Otherwise you'll get dents in your FEP, which is fine for a bit, but generally you want to try to avoid them. So you stick the painter's tape in there, and you simply pour the resin in that. But what I'll do is make sure that it's all in frame. Back it up a bit. I don't know why I can't use the light and the thing. Anyway, you'll see one side has a pouring spout, and you just want to... I didn't tell you one of the most important things, which is the mini squeegee. So this is just a regular squeegee that I have cut up. Works pretty good. So make sure it's on I use one of these lids because it's got some lip, but make sure that you pour it on something. Just pour it all back in, and that's going through the filter, which I've already installed. And then you'll see all this pigment that's just trapped at the bottom. I'm going to scrape all of that off back in the vat so you can shake it back up again. You're going to be super careful about the FEP that you don't damage it, which is why you're using the squeegee. Some people prefer not to squeegee it, they just let it drip, but I impatient, so I use a squeegee. There is a slight chance of you scratching the FEP, but I haven't done that so far, as long as you're careful. You should always keep a second piece of paper handy, so you can put anything down on it or whatever, like this. So this is pretty excessive. Normally you wouldn't see this much residue on the FEP, but it has been sitting for a week. Did I also tell you you need microfiber cloth? You need microfiber cloth. You don't want to be using this on your FEP, you'll just scratch it. So this is alcohol. We don't want this going back into the resin. But what we do want is a clean FEP. So you'll notice that, especially with the Photon, not so much with this one, but there will be, let me just clean this up and I'll show you. There'll be if you've got any solidified resin residue, then it'll get caught. It'll get caught in here. So you want to make sure that that's cleaned out. There's not much you can do about it, honestly, but see if you can do your best with it. So I'm not actually using this on the FEP, just the side bits. You don't want to use it on the FEP because you'll scratch it. Well, there's the possibility of scratching it. Just bring in our microfiber cloth to clean the actual resin vat. Now, sometimes you will get resin stuck to the vat, so the best bet for that is okay. So the best way to do it is to do one exposure for about 10 seconds and then pull it up, and that just cleans it automatically. But if you don't do that and you realize that you've got some resin on the vat, you just press it from the back with a clean glove, just really gently, and you just press it until it comes up. But there is a way that you can do an exposure on the machine, and that'll expose a big square of big rectangle of resin. You can just pull that straight up. Generally you don't even need to take the vat out to do it, and that's pretty good for cleaning the vat. If you've just had, like, if you know you haven't had a failure and nothing's dropped in, that'll be good. If you just know that it didn't adhere and it's stuck to the vat. Generally I'll just run it again, and I'll swish this around in here. You can see if anything's on the vat or if there's any debris in there. Now that's pretty clean. I'm just going to give the outside a go. And what you want to try to avoid is getting any muck on this side of it, because you don't need to clean this unless it's actually dirty. I just got some muck on it, so I'll just clean it off real quick. If you do get resin on the back here, clean it off immediately, because you don't at all want it to be resin to be on this side. That's the side that faces the LCD. Alright, so that's pretty clean. We'll put that back in the machine. And I'll show you any of the residue that was actually caught in there. Gets caught in that filter. Generally what I'll do is run some alcohol just back through it, just to clean it out that way, and it can be used again for 20-30 times, something along those lines. But you do want to make sure that this is fairly clean. And then once that's clean, I'll clean it later off camera. Give your resin a good shake. Make sure that the lid is on securely, because the last thing that you want is resin all over your workspace. And yeah, that's it. That's cleaning a vat.